Hi, I'm Ben Kennedy, class of 2005. I'm with the W&M Alumni Association. I'm here today with Dr. Christina Romer, class of 1981 and chair of President Obama's Council of Economic Advisors. Thank you so much for taking the time with us today.
It's great to be here.
Welcome back to campus. How does it feel to be back?
It feels fabulous. And actually, I was so pleased I got here about an hour early, and so my husband and I drove around. I got to look at some of Colonial Williamsburg, see my old classroom, every dorm, so it was fantastic.
So what's the biggest change since you graduated?
A lot more buildings. So it's clear that the university or the college is thriving and clearly expanding.
And as economics major, obviously you're involved with a lot of high-profile decisions now. What did you learn as an econ major here on campus that you can apply to your career since then?
You know, it's one of the things I always tell my own economics students is that economics is much more a way of thinking rather than a collection of facts or something like that. And I think what I really learned at W&M is how to think like an economist. And that's what I have to use every day, right? I don't get anything that there's nothing like a usual day. There's always a new question, a new issue, and I have to be ready to jump right in. And I think what I learned from my professors at W&M is exactly how to do that.
Well, you just took a bunch of questions from current students. I'm sure many of them were economics majors themselves. Maybe you could help us describe maybe the caliber of a W&M student in 2009. Oh,
it's amazing. I think I joked at the end of the Q&A that I wish they were all members of Congress or the press. I mean, this was the most intellectually serious kind of questions, and they pushed me very hard of the hard questions about what's going on in the rest of the world, what's going on here. All of that was just incredibly impressive.
Now you moved from the academic world into a pretty serious role in the government. What would you say are the biggest differences between the so-called ivory tower and then the actual ivory towers in Washington?
Well, I used to think I worked hard, and I didn't know how much harder it could be until we're come to work for the administration in the middle of a very severe economic downturn where economic policy is really happening 24/7. I think one of the things I told the audience is there's another whole set of skills that you think you know a lot because you know a lot of economics and you know how to teach, but learning how to be effective in meetings and how to provide good advice or how to be persuasive is another whole set of skills that I'm definitely having to develop.
Is there any kind of a major shift from your West Coast at Berkeley to the Washington Beltway atmosphere? Is a pretty big shift as well.
Yes, although I have to swear I'm in my office 14 or 15 hours a day, so I'm not sure I notice that I'm in Washington. I feel a little bit strapped to my desk and into meeting rooms. The nicest thing for us is we have two children who are both students at MIT, and so we at least, the family is a little bit closer together, so that's been nice.
That's excellent. What do you hope that your audience today can take away from your lecture and from the question and answer session? What do you hope everyone can learn from your perspective?
Well, what I was trying to do is as I'd been asked to do, is to kind of give a description of what we're doing. I think one of the things that people may have noticed is we're doing a tremendous amount of economic policy making, but sometimes I think maybe the coherence is not as obvious, right? Because when you're doing so many things, kind of figuring out how all the pieces fit together is a little bit hard. So what I tried to do is to talk about what I thought had gone wrong in the economy and how all the pieces of the recovery package fit together. The fiscal stimulus package, the bank, the financial rescue package, the housing program, the long-run changes. I think all of those in our minds are very much interrelated. We think each one makes the other one more effective. And so that's what I was trying to give the audience.
All right. Well, thank you so much for all the time you took for us today, and I appreciate taking the time to talk to me. Thank you very much.
It's been fabulous to be back.
All right. Thank you very much.